All right, how's everyone doing? I am Rich CELENZA. Thanks for checking out the Rich CELENZA show. So I was going to videotape myself doing this one, but I think I'm just going to do it as a podcast. And basically, it's about renting or purchasing a tux. And I think a lot of people think when they have to buy a tuxedo, they have to spend thousands of dollars, which if you are going to buy a high-end tuxedo and have it tailor-made, that may be the case. Even if you buy a tux hypothetically and have it tailored, not tailor-made, it's still going to run you a decent penny, right? Especially if it's a luxury brand. But I think a lot of people also have acknowledged, especially if you go to a lot of galas, maybe black tie affairs, or just weddings where you're sick of kind of wearing the same old dark blue suit or the same suit and looking kind of like everyone else, you may want to up it and say, hey, every time I go to a wedding, I'm going to wear a tux and blow everyone's mind. Or whatever type of occasion is, you're going to always look your sharpest. And I'm here to tell you, I think I could basically, definitely for under $200, create a tux for you that you could have forever. And a lot of people don't even know how to do this. And it's not that complicated. But I do see, I'm going to tell you something, a lot of people that are always like, and I was just talking about this to somebody, I'm like, hey, I can help you, create a tux for a lot cheaper than what you keep renting it for. I don't care, I just rent them whenever I need them, X amount of times. And they run a lot of times $150, $200. The thing is, a lot of times they don't they're not fitted for you necessarily. You go to a tuxedo, location and they size you up. They give you something that, they do your sleeves basically and they make sure the cut on your shoulder works and kind of call it a day. The waist isn't as tapered as it should. Sometimes the pants don't come out always right. The waist is usually adjustable. That's fine. But the length. And then you got to, a lot of times you're renting everything. You're renting the tux. You got to throw in the shirt if you don't have one. You got the cufflinks, the tuxedo buttons, the shoes. A lot of times, patent leather, whatever. And before you know it, it could be $200 after tax to rent one. And if you do what I say on this podcast, you could basically have one forever. And I'm going to tell you, unless you go with something extremely outdated, tuxedos for the most part never go out of style. And the more vintage kind of, not super duper vintage where it looks ridiculous, but if it's kind of classic, like I call it Rat Pack kind of style, where it's a decent lapel, black, you get the traditional white shirt with the bow tie, and a lot of you don't even have to go bow tie, you just go black tie, you're going to look golden, especially if it fits you correctly. The trick to making a tux look outstanding a lot of times is not who made it. I mean, don't get me wrong, an Armani tux, Brioni tux, Versace even, or certain tuxedos. I don't even know, does Versace even make a tux? I presume they do. I don't care who, I used to sell tuxedos actually at Neiman Marcus, and we had, if it's an Oxford, there's so many different style brands. But the trick, and I talk about it all the time, is having that look fitted for you specifically. All right? That's the key from top to bottom. Also having the right shoes too, having the right tie, having it work for you. So the first thing I'm going to tell you, if you're looking to buy a tux, you can go, for the most part, almost any men's consignment store or resale and find tuxedos for sale. And usually they're very reasonable. Most likely, they got that from a tuxedo shop that brought them in. That is either they paid for them or they're just working off consignment. So they brought in a bunch of used ones. Not always, but a lot of times. And, they can range all different prices. $50, $80, $100. Usually you're not, unless it's like something high-end, it's not going to be more than a couple $100. But here's the trick to that when you go there, just for starters. When you go in there, and it's used, so you got to definitely make sure it's kind of mint or in really good condition. We don't want some shitty tux. We want it to almost look brand new. And again, it doesn't have to always be from a tuxedo shop. It could be somebody who lost weight, gained weight. And usually if you owned a tuxedo and you bring it to a consignment shop, they very seldom wore it. They didn't wear it that often. Some may have, but they usually kept it in mint condition. So when you go to buy this tuxedo, it's usually going to be pretty mint. And here's the thing too. A lot of times if it was somebody's specialty tux, it's, they're going to be a different height than you. Their coat may be the same size, but they were either heavier than you, thinner than you. You don't know until you put the coat on. But I usually would always find, I buy a lot of tuxedo coats too separately. So when you go there, even if it has pants, they'll usually have the pants in the jacket. Don't worry about it. We're only looking for one piece right here, and that's the jacket. That's the most important thing. All right, so we want to make sure that jacket, I like a medium lapel. It never goes out of style. If you go too thin lapel and you're too heavy, you look ridiculous. If you go too big lapel and you're thin, you look ridiculous. A medium traditional kind of, if you remember somebody like Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, that style lapel is mint. Find a jacket that is very close to fitting you, especially, your arms, your chest, everything. We're going to still have to probably have it tailored, but put it on, make sure it works. Now, again, back to the pants, you don't know. This guy could have been 6'2", he could have been 5'4". I don't know. Let's not get caught up in the pants. If the pants do fit you, or, your waist or your length or anything, God bless. If it's close to fitting you, you hit the jackpot, especially for $60, $70. You're going to have your own tuxedo. Legit. I'm telling you. So most of the time, though, the pants don't usually always fit, but that's okay. Because what's going to happen is all we really need is a pair of black pants that is very close to the material tux that you're wearing. Doesn't have to be identical, but you could just, again, buy your jacket. So we found the tux wherever you find it, resale. And you could go to not only consignment, but Goodwill places. You can even go online and find tuxedos really cheap. I'm telling you. So if you have the full set, you buy that. Could be $80, $100. You have your tux now. Now, the coat, like I said, is the most important. Now, sometimes you can even go in the sport coat area and find a dark black sport jacket or sport coat that looks like a tuxedo. And they have those a lot of times for $30, $50, $70. And some may even be high-end. It looks like a tux. You can get that as well. But let's just make sure we have the jacket. Like I told you earlier, let's go to the store and just buy a pair of beautiful black pants. I wouldn't go with tuxedo pants anymore. Tuxedo pants, I don't know if you know what they are. They have different brands, but most of them have a stripe down the side. And those are outdated. Don't kid yourself. Those are kind of something you're going to see in a high-end restaurant more than you're going to see at a wedding anymore. And if you do see them, I think most of the time it's a bunch of groomsmen wearing them, whatever. That's just kind of, they're all rented and they all wanted to look the same. That's outdated. So all we need, again, is the coat and the black pants. Make sure the pants fit you correctly. And what we're going to do is we're going to get that tailored. All right? If the pants fit you perfectly, you don't have to have those tailored. But your coat, we have to have tailored. You're going to probably spend $30 on it. You want to make sure those sleeves are perfect now, right? You want to make sure the waist area is perfect. When you put that tuxedo on with your black pants, you are mint. Right now, you should be under $100 for both of those pieces. Now we have to find the tuxedo shirt. Now, you could go to a tux shop. A lot of times they have them used. They're not going to charge you $100, $150 unless, again, it's a high-end brand. Now, you can go buy all these things new. Now, don't get me wrong. But, again, you don't have to. But the white tux shirt, I would consider getting new. Now, you could go to a lot of places to get this. Men's Warehouse, Burlington. You could go to Macy's, Bloomies. A lot of these places have tuxedo shirts. They're going to range you maybe... It depends. But again, if you don't have the money, let's back up here. You, again, can go resale, consignment, Goodwill. A lot of times you can find a white, so all you need is a white cufflink dress shirt. That's all you need. I'm just telling you. I've even seen them for like $25 at Burlington Coat Factory. I don't like them because they're see-through. But if you're in a pinch, you put a t-shirt on and you put this on. Okay? I'm just telling you right now. But it has to be a cufflink. Now, if you're going to wear a bow tie, though, you need to make sure, you don't have to, but a lot of times a tuxedo shirt has it where you could put the little, they're called Tuxedo Buttons, which I'll get into next, but you don't have to. But you don't want just buttons kind of sitting down your shirt. You could do it. But when you put that bow tie on, if you want to take it to the next level, there's you put bow tie buttons in there and you just stick them in there and then it looks great. Forget about the button. I'm sorry. The hell am I thinking here? The Cumberland buttons, whatever the hell. I'm screwing the name up. It's been so long. But we don't need that shit. We're just going with a straight coat, okay? Straight down the center, traditional tuxedo. And so if you get your shirt, you got your jacket. Let's go for tie here. Now the tie, if you want to go bow tie traditional, I like a mid-size. I don't like something too small. I don't like something too big. Again, all you need is black or white. That's all you need. I'm just telling you right now. You could get into other colors and do all that, but just traditionally, and a lot of times, again, you can find these relatively cheap. You can find them for $15 all the way up to, who knows, definitely at Goodwill, again, resale stores, consignment stores for men. A lot of times they'll have bow ties there. A lot of times, too, what you want to get is obviously a pocket scarf, right? Hanky, whatever you want to call it. Most likely that is going to be white. All right, you can find those. You can find them for $10, again, all the way up to who knows if you go designer. But again, these are little pieces you can find. This is really going to be basically the foundation of your tux right there. That's how simple this is. I'm telling you, it's not that complicated. And what I would say, too, regarding the tux is, the shoes, any black shoe can work. If you can find a patent leather shoe, it really takes things to the next level. And sometimes you can find a decent patent leather shoe. It doesn't have to be high end. It could be $70 to $100. But again, you don't need that at first. I would make sure, though, when you wear a shoe, it's in really good condition, a black shoe. You don't want to be wearing a tux with a shitty black shoe. And you want it, in my opinion, to be black and polished. Okay? Now, one thing we have to wrap it up with is the cufflinks. And a lot of people, you could put whatever cufflinks you want. If you already have some, you can use those. But really, tuxedo cufflinks are very cheap as long as you don't go high end. Again, Goodwill, Salvation Army, resale, consignment, online. You can get those and the little buttons I was talking about really cheap. $25 for the whole set. You may even go cheaper. I think Burlington even has them. They're just black, circular for the cufflinks, and then the little mini buttons for the shirt. That's it. That's your tuxedo. You do it once, and you have it for 10 years. Think about it. If you have to rent a tux, even at $100, $150, and you rent in 10 years, I don't care if it's 5 or 10 of them. I don't care if it's 20 of them. Whatever the case may be, you will save yourself thousands of dollars. And it's very simple to do. Even if you have to start rock bottom right now, just start with one piece at a time. Just start looking for a tuxedo coat. That's around $50. When you find your size, grab it. You don't have to build the whole thing immediately. So I have a lot of black. I brought so many different pieces. I have so many black tuxedo coats, different styles, different lapels. Because when I grab one, because I know when I grab that, I already have all the other accessories. So next time I want to go to a different gal and have a different style tuxedo coat, I have it. Because everything else is basically the same. I think people think it all changes up or something like that. It doesn't. It's usually a black coat, sport coat, or suit, whatever. It's not a suit, it's a sport coat. Black pants, black shoes, white shirt, tie. That's it. You invest, say, slowly but surely over 6 months, creating your own tuxedo, even down to the shoes. Say you end up spending around $200, $225. That can last you as long as you stay in the same weight area. That can last you 10, 15, 20 years. I have a couple tuxedos that are, I don't even know how old. And when I wear them, people go crazy because they're vintage. But again, I have it forever. And not only do I don't have to always wear my black tuxedo coat to a gala or a black tie affair. Sometimes I'll put jeans and a t-shirt and it looks really cool. Sometimes I'll wear a turtleneck with it. It could be white or black. Sometimes I'm just wear it with whatever. My black tux coat with regular style pants, let's say, with just this, I'm going out for New Year's with a regular style shirt. You could do a lot with a tuxedo. I'm just telling you right now, and it's not as much money as you think. So I just want to do a video on this, but just from top to bottom. You don't have to go to any tux place to start from scratch or spend thousands of dollars, or go to a big box retail store. And believe me, they have great things. And Neiman's great. For if you want to build your own tux, you could start from the ground zero and go up. If you got money, do whatever you want to do. But if you don't have a lot of money and you want to start kind of stylizing yourself, don't always look, again, at building all these things immediately. I could go for sport coats too. Sometimes I tell guys, hey, they don't have the money for the tailoring. They may just have money for the coat. That's fine. You find a coat that fits you or something close, buy it for now. Then a month or 2 months down the line, then go have it tailored. And then once it's tailored, it's ready to go. And the shirt that you purchase, the white one or the cufflink, it's going to look, it's going to most likely fit you when you purchase it. So you don't have to have it tailored. I would recommend having it tailored if it's not perfect, but you just want to make sure it looks really good. And again, if you can't even afford a tuxedo shirt, let's throw that aside. If you do have a white dress shirt, okay, I'm just telling you, even if you put that under, even if it's a button style, not even a cufflink, you get the coat, the black pants, a tie, you're good to go. You're good to go. You don't have to go extreme all the time, but it will cover your ass, and like I said, just build from there. So I've been putting up a lot of videos on different things regarding, making sure your pants fit you correctly, what sport coats, suits, all these different types of things if you want to check them out on YouTube. But if you want, hit me up with a comment or a question. But I'm telling you, building your tux is one of the simplest, easiest, and one of the cheapest things to do. Not one of the most expensive and complicated. I'm just telling you. So, all right, take care, and I wish you nothing but the best.